welcome to the very first and possibly only episode of T-Cell's Trophy Tips. This short video will provide general guidance on getting the Platinum Trophy as fast as possible for Marvel Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4. I will also try not to talk about any spoilers outside of what's shown in the official trailers. This Platinum Trophy is pretty easy and straightforward like most of Insomniac Games' other releases. I got my last trophy after about 24 hours of playtime. The majority of them are obtained through story or general progression, and none of them are missable, so you can play at any pace you want. The difficulty setting also does not affect the trophies. When you begin the game, I highly recommend turning on the option to skip puzzles under accessibility. None of the spectrograph or circuit puzzles are too difficult, but at least the option's there. There is also a trophy for completing all the optional puzzles in the lab, and skipping all of them still gives you the trophy. Other useful options to turn on in the accessibility menu is the QTE autocomplete and changing button tabs to holds.
But in my experience, when it looks bad, it's usually worse.
The overall trophy list comes down to finishing all story and side missions, getting 100% completion in all districts, and buying all suits and 15 upgrades. You do not need to collect all the Daily Bugle newspapers or secret photo ops hidden throughout the game. For efficiency, you should go through all the main story missions and not worry about collectibles unless they are directly in your path to the next story point. Don't bother getting collectibles until you reach the gameplay section that was shown at Sony's E3 press conference, which is what you're seeing on the screen right now. There are two exceptions to this rule. One is the surveillance towers, which you should grab if they are relatively nearby. You can also push circle to skip the repetitive tower cutscenes. The other is to help solve crimes in the city. Crime events spawn randomly after traveling a couple hundred meters, and they would most likely be the last collectible you will finish. You should also complete all of them as they appear during normal play. However, do not swing around the city waiting for crimes to spawn. This is because all the collectibles will appear on the map after completing the gameplay section shown at E3. After this event, the spawn rate of crimes also become higher, and that is the best time to finish off all your collectibles. All but one of the collectibles is locked behind story progress. The one in question is the pigeon collectible, which unlocks after doing a specific side mission to help Howard catch a bird. You can't really miss this side mission because you are right next to it after regaining control from a story mission. Another requirement is to learn the ground strike ability, which is needed for a specific research station later in the game. The perfect dodge and air trick skills are also tied to their own trophies. The air trick skill is needed to get a trophy for chaining 4 unique tricks together without touching the ground. You can do one trick, then shoot a web to swing and gain back height before doing another trick. You don't need to do all 4 in one falling sequence from a tall building. Getting collectibles also gives you tokens to buy suit and gadget upgrades. Do not buy any upgrades that require challenge tokens. Those are the hardest tokens to earn, and you do not want to be short of a couple tokens to buy what's needed for the trophies. The best way to unlock these two trophies is to only buy the highly beneficial upgrades as you play the story. Once you hit level 45, all the suits will unlock. At this point, make a manual save, then buy all the purchasable suits to get the Suit for All Seasons trophy. Then reload that manual save and buy all the gadget upgrades you want. The Web Blossom and Spider Bro powers from the Classic and Stark suit was all I needed to help me in combat. As for the suit mods, you must buy the Combat Analyzer, which increases experience gained from enemies. Other useful mods are the ones that increase damage or increase focus gain. Now for some gameplay tips. As you progress through the story, there are some sections you are required to run around on foot. Remember that you can hold R2 to sprint and move faster in most of these cases. The landscape collectible only needs a part of the building in the center of the frame. This means you can do a quick swing by, get your snap and swing away to the next collectible.
From being bitten by a radioactive panther. Dude's tough, but that'd still probably hurt. Nice composition, if I do say so myself.
Need response to a break-in. Officers needed near Turtle Bay.
Finally, there are some trophies you might not get through normal gameplay. You will need to visit 2 locations, greet 10 citizens by pushing the square button while walking the streets, use the fast travel function 5 times, and perform a couple combat-related trophies. The 2 locations are Uncle Ben's grave and perching atop the Avengers Tower. Uncle Ben's grave is located in the graveyard at the top left corner of the game. His tombstone is near the eastern edge in the northern part of the graveyard. As for the Avengers Tower, it's directly east of Central Park and quite difficult to miss. One combat-related trophy requires you to use trip mines to knock together 10 pairs of enemies. Enemy pairs are found in pretty much every base location in the game. You can also use this opportunity to perform stealth takedowns and perfect dodges. I was able to complete both of these well before finishing the game, so don't stress over it. Finally, I recommend making a manual save every now and then. The game does have a pretty good autosave feature, but I encountered 2 crashes while playing, and they booted me back to the main PS4 menu. One of those times, my save was corrupted when I tried to reload, but the game was able to reuse another recent autosave, so I didn't really lose much progress.
So I think the new guys have to tag the old guys, and they have to go to their corner, no?
Thank you for sticking around and watching T-Soul's Trophy Tips. In the end, I really enjoyed the game, enough to make this video. There was also a pretty emotional scene in the story that hit me quite hard. This was easily the best Spider-Man game I've played, especially since there hasn't been anything decent in a long time. Please leave any comments or questions you may have and I'll try to respond to them as needed. Thanks again, T-Soul out.